So in this video, we're going to talk about acceptance. This is the first happiest moment of any transaction that you have going on, and how acceptance is defined in the contract is really key. It affects so many other things because you need to know what date your contract was accepted. And so we're going to start this conversation just by looking at how it's defined in the RPA. So there's two lines in the RPA, the residential purchase agreement, that define acceptance that you really need to know, because everywhere else where the word acceptance is used in an offer, in a counteroffer, and so on, is referring to this paragraph for the definition of acceptance. So we're just going to read it. So here goes. Acceptance means the time the offer or final counteroffer is fully executed in writing by the recipient party and is delivered to the offering party or that party's authorized agent. It's fully executed, meaning all of the signers have signed, and there's not a signer, say a husband and wife, and just the husband signed, but the wife didn't sign. That's not fully executed. Another way it's not fully executed is if you have initials on 15 pages, but not on the 16th page. So if there's an initial or signature missing, then it is also not fully executed. And so meaning you wouldn't have acceptance. Another thing that is often missed with fully executed is there a checkbox referencing an addendum that's a part of your offer, but then you just forgot to send that addendum to the other side. So I've got my 16-page contract and all of that's signed and initialed and looks good, but this other addendum I forgot to send. But that addendum, because you checked the box, it's a part of this contract. So now your addendum isn't, your contract isn't 16 pages, it's 17 pages. And that one page, the addendum, doesn't have a signature or initial, so you no longer have a fully fully executed contract. So keep that in mind. So if you've checked boxes and there's other documents that are supposed to be attached, if those documents are not signed, you most likely do not have a fully executed contract, meaning you don't have acceptance. So you thought your offer's accepted, you opened escrow took it, and so on, and then the other side says, oh yeah, we didn't know about this addendum, we didn't sign that, we don't agree to that. Guess what? You don't have an offer. And sure, escrow opened it, but you don't have an offer, you don't have an agreement. Other part of this conversation is that it is fully executed and delivered to the other side. So if you represent the buyer, the seller has given you a counteroffer to your offer, your buyer accepts it. Them accepting it with you at the table doesn't necessarily mean you have acceptance. You got to hurry up and get that to the other side. You want to finish it, close the loop, really just finalize it by getting that delivery over to the other side. The contract in recent years changed how they define delivery. So now by default, just emailing it to the other side. The act of emailing it is the same as the act of them receiving it. You don't actually have to ask them to confirm receipt. However, it is a really good practice. Once you've sent it, call, text, email, ask them for receipt. So you get some confirmation, hey, yeah, they did get the fact that you have sent them this fully executed offer or counteroffer, and you've confirmed that receipt. One other thing I would say about acceptance is because there's no field in the contract where it says, what's the acceptance date? And you write in that date. It's common practice that you have acceptance now and you've sent your contract to escrow. They will typically send you back something saying the acceptance date is deemed to be blank, and they will write in what from their understanding of the dates on the forms what the acceptance date is. And sometimes they will be wrong. So you do want to double check that everyone is working off the same understanding of what is the acceptance date. And so just it's something to look out for, but you know how it's defined so you can determine it based on that. And again, it's not just necessarily just the signature date, it's the date it was delivered to the other side. With that, that's acceptance. You want to be really solid on that. My last word of wisdom here is I really like when you do have acceptance and you're sending the contract to, say, escrow, the lender, and the other parties involved. When you send that out saying, hey, looking forward to working with everyone, I'm attaching the contract, our acceptance date is blank, if it's yesterday, if it's earlier today, whatever the case may be, and any other timelines you want to, or key dates you need to spell out, but just you articulating what the acceptance date is to the other parties so that you're all on the same page just helps proactively remove any doubt that someone else might read the timeline differently and come up with a different acceptance date. With that, there's acceptance date, and hopefully that puts you off on the right foot in your transaction.